Gem babies, hello. So this is a reading to say thank you so much. I'm so grateful. The last reading that I did for you guys, which was the December readings, the love reading. Sorry, it was so beautiful. The November love reading. Oh, my mind. So the November love reading that I did for you guys was so wonderfully and so beautifully supportive in that reading. And if you don't know which one I'm referring to, if it's your first time to the channel, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Adrian. I'm an intuitive healer. I practice holistic wellness. I also do spiritual regression hypnosis. For all of you always supporting me, I'd like to thank you so much from my heart. It means everything to me. If you're not sure which reading it is that I'm referring to, the last one where I had the most views from your beautiful Geminis, I don't know which corner it is now. I think it's that corner. You like little ticky. Where that's the reading that I was talking about, but this is just a bonus reading for you guys, just to say thank you and to see what's coming up. I'm not really going to focus on love in this reading unless it comes up, because the next reading that is coming up for you guys is actually the December love reading, and after that it will be the 2021 readings to see what's what source would like to communicate to you is coming ahead for you in 2021. So this is just a general reading, just to see what's coming out, and I'm using a couple of different decks. The one I'm using that I'm going to draw at first, it is the MUSE Tarot by Chris Ann. I also have down below, because sometimes you'll ask me what cards am I using. So all the tarot and the oracle cards that I'm using, I've listed them for you guys down below in the description. So if you are interested in any of them, you can go have a look over there. And if you want to buy them, they're there with the Amazon links. Okay. Just thought I'll make it easier if any of you are ever interested in buying. So where you currently are, so we're going to look at where you're coming from, what brought you to where you are, what's coming towards you, and then also the overall energy. So the first card that came out here for you, what's bringing you towards where you currently are, is the Tower. All right, so this is the end of the era, end of a difficult stage. Something has come to an end and something new is beginning. All right, there's you being on a path. Okay, and then I'm just going to get your card for your overall energy. This is so beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful reading. It seems to take more of a life focus. Okay, there that card fell out and one was sort of underneath. So I'm going to first show you what the overall energy is, and then we're going to go to almost like into the details. So for the overall energy, I've got the 10 of Inspiration, which is the 10 of Cups. Okay, and then underneath that was the 3 of Voices, which is the 3 of Swords, and it was sort of like underneath like that, so I didn't kind of like see it. And to me, that normally means that this card gives a message in relation to this card. All right, so in this case here with the 10 of Cups, this 10 of Inspiration, this is you moving on from circumstances, from situations, from people, remember, this is a general reading, so you take what resonates, but this is you stepping away, peacefully stepping away, realizing that I feel that maybe at some point, for example, you maybe had to say, you felt kind of like, whatever life was doing, that you had to move to a certain place or go to a certain place or be with a certain someone, or it's almost like there might have been a little bit of almost like you were pushed in a certain direction for a particular reason, and this is now, it's almost like a lot of ties were tied up, a lot of there with the 3 of Swords, the 3 of Voices in this one, a lot of tears that you cried, a lot of sort of loose ends that needed to be tied up. And sometimes in life we want to move forward, but what we often don't get is that it's all fine and well to move forward. But when we move forward and we haven't dealt with this, the things that are still left behind here, then those things can actually have a very detrimental impact on what could have actually been quite a beautiful blessing for us. So it may not have felt that way at the particular point in time, but there was you that it almost might have felt at a point that almost you didn't have control of your life, you know, that you didn't have so much of a say, almost like being at the mercy of others. And so those there were reasons for that, though. There were things that needed to be cleared out, you know, and this would be ties that you'd have had in relation with others, and that could have been the direct cause why your cup particularly, you know, was never really 100% full. It wasn't really empty, but it wasn't really full either. You know, it was always there, semi three-quarter type of vibe, all right? And there is that very deep sort of pain that we have inside of us sometimes that needs some healing. And we don't always realize that we need the healing until we actually step away from the things that give us so much worries and concerns in our lives, and we actually get the space to breathe. And that is exactly what you got over here, all right? The Tower, which is the first card that came out there for you. So the Tower is the sort of like the energy, the current energy, and I saw 555 on there now. And fives in, you know, sort of universal numbers, spiritual numbers, even numerology. It is very much a number that lets you know that, listen, you may not be 100% where you want to be, but don't worry, you're not alone. There's a lot of universal support that's on your side, okay? So with the Tower, this is, as you can see there, there's a little character goes like a boing, you know, that is like the previous version of yours. That is, it's like the time for that version has been, you know, lived out, and now it's time for a new version of yours. Hello. Hello, man. And this is the butterfly that is the result, you know, of what the cocoon had to go through. And so the time for the cocoon has passed. Remember, as I was saying also here with the 10 of inspirations that we had and the 3 of voices, that there was a time period that was passing. This is a time period that was passing. This period is done. This period is over. And now this is really about stepping into a new space, a new energy, a new flow. Okay. What brought you to where you are? This is the 2 of voices, the 2 of swords. This is you. Leo, are you in the iPad? Normally just to come and check up on me. Sorry about that. Coming to check up like, oh, it's okay. And then it just moves on. This is you. Now, this is a couple of interesting things that were happening here in your life. There was a vision, there was a goal that you would have had, and I don't think a lot of people kind of took you very seriously, you know. So there was you maybe feeling very alone, very isolated, very non-supported, feeling your hands are very tied, and you knew that there was more in life for you. There was more that you could live. There was more that you could be. You had more potential. You were very aware of that. And so in a sense, you were still heading towards it. So even through the darkness, through the pain, through the, you know, the things not working out, you know, through the depression, all those type of things, you were still heading towards the direction that you'd like to head. And interestingly enough, you were working very much with your emotions here. All right. So you were heading towards this very fiery place, but you were creating by your actual emotions. All right. That sort of beautiful other layer that Gemini has that a lot of people are never really aware of, you know, and a lot of people that don't really have not even a real basic understanding of astrology, you know, they would be like, oh, Geminis, oh my goodness, they are the worst. But it's just really because, you know, that you're not really being very well understood. And so this was you reaching forward, and you needed that break, you needed a little time. But now with the 10 of voices, which is 10 of swords, which is coming towards you, again, this is a cycle coming to an end. This is also, it's a change in mindset, it's a change in thinking, and it's a powerful moving forward for you in actual fact, you know, that beautiful second wind, but you're kind of taking it in second gear as well. All right, so it's quite powerful. Clarifying for you with the Deviant Moon Tarot, which is a beautiful deck of cards that was given to me by one of my subscribers. Alright, so we're clarifying the Ten of Inspirations as Ten of Cups first. And the first card that came out there, again, another 10, is the Ten of Pentacles. So at this point, you have now got the Ten of Cups on the table, you've got the Ten of Swords on the table, and you've got the Ten of Pentacles on the table. Alright, so toxic patterns currently that you may be having with other people, that's coming to an end. Codependency, especially with money. Maybe you're in a stage where you know, where somebody maybe was helping you out, you maybe needed that, you know, and it could have gone from a point where it started to come a little bit murky. Okay, so it's the end of that type of cycles. You choosing yourself here, because we've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. All right, this is you playing very cleverly here. You know, not sneaky, clever. Intelligently, not letting yourself be taken advantage of. All right, that's too many cards, so I'm just going to put them back in there again. I will let you know that the card that I saw there flipping around was the Sun card, which is a beautiful energy, which could be what could be coming into your life, you know, the beautiful Leo energy. Because when you look at typical when you look at typical Gemini energy, you know, it's obviously, you know, very much the opposites sometimes, which could be the very sort of Leo energy. And in a sense, sometimes that energy could be so sensitive that it's almost like Pisces, okay? Since I mentioned Cancer, I'm actually a Cancer, but I've got very strong Gemini in my chart. You know, my Mercury as well as my Venus is in Gemini, which is why I love my Geminis. Alright, so here are two cards coming out, the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Swords underneath the Nine of Cups. Okay, this is a little bit of a warning that not everybody might necessarily be happy to just see you go. Alright, there might be a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a backstabbing that you want to look out for, a little bit of a mind game of like, oh, but when you needed help, I helped you. I was here for you when you really needed help, you know, and now you're just going to leave me. What am I supposed to do now? So there is a little bit of that sort of energy happening over here. And also remember, I mean, when you're a Gemini, you've naturally got that beautiful thing that you're just very sort of charismatic, you know, attractive. Everybody want to be your friend. Everybody want to date you. People just like you. They're just very attracted to you. But be very careful of sort of like energy vampires, people that suck your energy, that might not have the best of intentions involved. I do sense that there might be people that... it's not so much that they don't really want you to succeed, they just don't want you to succeed so much that you actually leave them behind, and that in itself is a lack mentality. Okay, I'm going to draw one more card for that. Overall, there's a beautiful support structure here. I just be careful of that, you know, one or two that might be, and I feel that you know exactly what I'm talking about as well. Knight of Wands, it might be a very personal connection that's happening over there. All right, but this is you knowing what you need to do, being a little bit hesitant though. Okay, try not to wait out a situation hoping that peace will sort of like instigate itself, because in this particular case it just may not. All right, let's look at the Three of Swords that was underneath this pain that was overcome, which I think is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. But obviously I feel that you're going to be okay. Nine of Swords. So the Three of Swords is clarified by the Nine of Swords. This is also speaking about letting go of a situation in the past. You know, if you needed to deal with a difficult situation, if you needed to deal with a toxic situation, whether that toxic person was you or someone else. So we've got Nine of Swords, Eight of Cups. Even if that toxic person was yourself, it is time to step away from that, you know, that worry mentality, that, oh my goodness, I was so horrible, I was so bad, I was so wrong, you know, I've done this, I've done that, I wish I did it different. It's time to step away from that. Okay, remember, yes, it's very good to obviously you know, admit when you've done wrong and to accept responsibility for the mistakes that you made, obviously, but in the same token, you know, don't be so hard on yourself that you might feel that you almost need to make up for something forever for the rest of your life. All right? Remember, we all play this game of life together, and nothing is really an isolated event. Page of Swords. You're getting clarity there on the situation. When you stop blaming yourself, I actually also feel how you can really see how you contributing in that situation could have been very beneficial for everybody involved, including yourself. Okay, let's clarify the Two of Voices in the recent past, the energy that brought you to where you currently are, which is the Two of, the Two of Swords is what we are clarifying. So from that space of, being confused, not sure now, what to do, feeling like you may not have that many options. We've got the Ace of Wands. So there was a sense of divine intervention, and I feel that in this space there may have been a sense of affinity. I feel love, but it can also be a strong friendship, where you really got to see who somebody actually really is. You may have thought that you knew, but I feel from the situation something very new has been built. So we've got the Page of Wands, the Tower, the Three of Swords, and I'm going to draw you one more card. So there was a lot of healing that took place as a result of this past situation, in fact. Divine intervention. I also feel that a deep healing within yourself has started, like the soil was ready, for this new energy to take place, but you needed to move somehow from where you were. So if you needed to physically move, location, job, anything like that, that was very necessary for a period to come to an end there with a Tower, and for this healing, this deep healing to take place. There's a Three of Swords twice here now that's come out in the reading, in the in where you currently are. And then, so remember, we are the Ace of Wands. Now we've got the Page of Wands as well as the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so this is now you has been sort of placed on this path. You're beginning to actually see the path that you've been placed on. May not have been that easy in the beginning. Came over a lot of the heartache and the pain. Conscientious in knowing what you're choosing now, what you're moving towards it. And I feel that you are actually moving forward with quite a lot of purpose. You've got quite a clear idea of what it is that you want to have, and you're actually moving towards it with purpose. I'm going to draw from the Good Tarot a card for those, that double sort of, Three of Swords that came out. And the card that you came out was the Moon. That came out for you was the Moon. All right, very sort of mellow energy, often associated with Cancer. This is I think that you may have felt that you had a lot of clarity on things, but on some things you actually didn't. And the clarity started to come through, but you first needed to get through the heartache in order to get the clarity, It's one of those things where you only really get to see the light that's always there, but you need to move through a certain phase first. All right. Let's clarify the Tower. See what we've got for you with the Tower in the current energy. So what is this? This is the Six of Swords that first went, it first sort of went in reverse, and then it went in the upright position as it was falling down. Okay. So this is you moving sort of like away from the, those troubling things. King of Cups, you're moving towards love, you're moving towards beauty, you're moving towards Six of Pentacles, you're moving towards hope. This is two sixes now. Six of Swords, moving forward swiftly towards love, towards infinity, towards the greatest version of yourself. And the Six of Pentacles, also moving forward into a point where you actually, I feel that for some of you there's a strong need that you feel that you want to give back for some reason, and that possibility is there for you right now. This is where you're heading. And then let's just look at the Ten of Swords as we end off their reading for what's coming towards you, because that's the end of cycles. That's the end, which is obviously also new beginnings, the end of suffering. So where you are right now, everything might seem a little bit misty, not 100% clear right now just yet. But let's see what's happening. So the first card that came out was the Page of Pentacles. This is you having some, brilliant ideas, some epiphany, maybe for something that you can do, some talent that you can apply, a way that you can actually make money, become very self-sufficient, if that is something that is important to you. All right, you might, okay, so what came around here? I'm going to take these cards that they turned over. What are they? So you've got the Page of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, which is fantastic. So this is also letting you know that the idea that's coming towards you, that idea actually pays off really, really beautiful. It speaks of success, okay? Seven of Cups, some learning curves there still that needs to be taken place. Judgment, but this is what I love so much. This is where there are learning curves that need to be done, and when you come across them, instead of going like, oh my goodness, I'm messing up, you're like, okay, this is a learning curve. All right, finish off there by this beautiful card, the Ace of Pentacles. So also, even though things might be a little bit touch and go in the beginning, I feel that it's almost like as a result of what you are doing and the hard work that you are putting in, your efforts are being noticed, and a beautiful offer might actually be made to you. All right, something quite unexpected that pushes you forward financially in a beautiful way. All right, so I'm going to end off for you with a Crystal Oracle card just to see what energy the Crystal Kingdom has got for you. If the reading resonates with you, Gemini, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Remember, if you subscribe, to hit that notification bell. And remember, the next reading coming out for you is your December love reading. And wow, what a beautiful card this is. Coco's a Knight. New beginnings. New beginnings. If you're ready for new beginnings to live your most beautiful, wonderful, precious life, open your heart, mind, and soul to this. And may this come into your life in divinely beautiful ways. And so it is. Namaste. Love and light. Bye.